Huples and Kitty.
Kitty.
So we've been doing stuff during the pandemic that's been good and bad. The exercises being good and other things have been great. But we did come across 2 programs on Netflix. Now I'm not supporting Netflix or promoting Netflix. I'm not associated with Netflix as far as I know. Am I?
No, probably we should have been early in its birth, probably.
Yeah. But we watched a show called The Queen's Gambit,
Very good.
which we very, very much enjoyed. And so there will be some spoilers in this, both for The Queen's Gambit and the very early first season of House of Cards.
Which everyone's probably seen already.
Except for us.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about The Queen's Gambit, and then we're going to talk about the House of Cards, the American version. I have seen the British version years ago, and I look forward to watching that again. But we'd never watched it at all. Anyway, so we've been watching The Queen's Gambit, and it was recommended to you by your sister Fiona, was it not? And I wasn't really that thrilled when I started watching it, because what's it about?
Chess.
Chess!
Well, a chess protege.
It turns out Kitty can't play chess, so one of these days I'm going to teach you to play chess.
I don't think I have a chess mind. I like watching films about chess geniuses, but I don't think
You could be a genius at chess if
No,
you
I'm sure
try.
that I'm not.
Probably
I'm
not.
not.
It's a spatial relationship thing as well.
I know. I used to actually test well with that, but I think I've lost it.
Checkers.
I can do checkers.
Anyway, so the whole point is it's set in the 1950s and then goes
60s.
into this. No, it's set in the 50s, then it goes to the 60s, and then it goes to the 70s.
Barely, yes.
Barely. So it's a period piece, and it's set in America, and they spent a ton of money on it, I'm thinking, because there's a lot
Very
of
beautifully done.
beautiful set pieces. But it's actually, I thought it was more of a coming of an age film than a thing about chess. I thought the chess was definitely a character. The chess, I would say, is a major character in it, but the girl, it's her journey, her arc, her coming of age with having a specific talent, which is to be pretty good at chess.
I think beyond pretty good.
Beyond pretty good at chess, but there's a few spoilers in it. What did you really like about it?
I think the acting was fantastic. The lead actress was just amazing to watch. She's really, really engaging. Really nice to watch.
She's
And
also
the story has
a
lot of heart.
redhead, so.
Yeah, the story had a lot of heart. It jumped back and forth.
But not jarringly though, right?
No.
You can easily follow it.
No, the pacing was nice. There were some sort of nuanced relationships that developed, and it had a nice evolution. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought the way they tied in and explained everything that they'd shown by the end was really good. Because a lot of shows don't do that, and I thought it did. You understood why she ended up in the school she ended up in. I'm trying not to do spoilers. You understand why she was drawn to chess because of her parenting. You understand a whole bunch of things by the end of it. But it's a fiction. A lot of people are Googling it and say, is this a real story? And it actually isn't. But the bottom line is that in the Cold War, America and Russia sublimated a lot of their aggressions via chess. And so if you were an American chess genius in the 60s and 70s, you were going to be very, very well off. And the whole point of the story is that's what happens to her. So it shows what happens to a child that's parentless and unloved in a way, though she is loved in a way, so that's kind of an interesting one. What happens to her as she grows into a chess genius at a very young age, about 12 or 13, and what happens to her when she's on her own as a child, adult really, she's I think 15 or 16 because she was lying about her age when she's on her own, and the stress of being the best in the world at something, and the ultimate fear, I'm the best in the world at this, but that Russian guy, I know he can beat me. So it was interesting. I mean, it sounds kind of dull. A lot of the last part of the series is actually set with her playing chess.
Yeah, no, it's lovely.
Anyways, so the chess game and the chess set is actually an integral part of it, and the Queen's Gambit is actually an actual part of chess which she uses both defensively and offensively. And at the end of the story, it's about how America is a bunch of individuals, but when they work as a team, they can defeat communism. I thought it was a little heavy-handed, that metaphor at the end.
It was. Yeah.
It was heavy-handed.
But I mean, if you looked at it on a smaller scale,
On a smaller
it's
scale,
nice.
beautiful
It's
end
nice.
of the story. It
Yeah,
was a great
I mean,
end.
you don't have to take it to that level that it's
Right.
that it's political. Anyway, I always loved this delicate movie that I saw years ago called Searching for Bobby Fischer, and it was about
Searching for Bobby Fischer, which I don't think I've seen.
It isn't about Bobby Fischer. It's but it was a lovely film, and it was about a kid and chess, and it was quite sweet. So it's nice.
I think we have to teach you to play chess.
No, we don't. I really don't
You
think
could
so.
be a genius.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, so I would say it's a 10 out of 10 to watch. It's a short mini-series. It's beautifully filmed, beautifully acted. A lot of people are getting excited in the press about the fashions in it.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And I don't argue that, but I don't think they were glaring.
No,
Yeah,
but it was beautiful.
it was, yeah. You agree? 9 out of 10? 10 out of 10?
Very good. Yeah, it was very good.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed it.
So now turning to something more topical, we started watching House of Cards, the American version with Kevin Spacey and Robin What's-Her-Face. Wright, I think it is, isn't it? Or is that a BG? Isn't Robin Wright a BG?
No.
Are you sure? I thought Robin Wright was a BG. Anyway, so we started watching it, and we're on about episode 6 of the first season. We've never seen it at all, as far as I know, and we're quite enjoying it.
Yes, it's very good.
Yes, very good, very political, kind of
Very-
West Wing, dystopian West Wing.
Yeah, a
I'd say.
dystopian West Wing.
Yeah.
Very cynical.
Very cynical.
Very questionably motivated people that just want power and nothing else matters outside of their own little world. Very nasty in its
Nasty.
way. And I know Kevin Spacey has been shunned in the modern age, but he's a good actor. Always was a good actor. So it's interesting. He does sort of talk to the camera, go out of character and talk to the camera periodically. Well, not out of character, in character size.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, which is done quite well in this, and it's not speedily fast. It's kind of has its own progression, its own pacing, which is it's really good.
Yeah.
We just sort of ignored it when everyone else was watching.
Yeah, we did. Like Friends, we never watched Friends.
We've gone back.
But since then, we've watched Friends multiple times, which says that
Yeah,
we are
it's
sad.
a silly show,
But House of Cards, a couple of things people don't know about it. Number one, it was the first ever Netflix original production. So that's what led to all of the other Netflix shows. It was the first one, and they picked a good one. A lot of other people don't know this. Like The Office, America stole it entirely from Britain, and the first 2 seasons are basically paralleling with an American bent. The 2 seasons that actually I haven't seen, so I don't know. But basically, the British show was years before, and the British show is creepy, vicious. Like the main character is just much more less attractive than Kevin Spacey. Not that I find Kevin Spacey attractive, but he is an actor, and Robin Wright is an actress, and everybody in it, because it's an American show, are pretty much beautiful, even the bald guys. But in the British show, they use real actors who look like people who look like politicians, and it's a much more vicious show about doing whatever it takes to win, no matter what, and having no doubts about the rightness of being cruel. And I think one of the interesting parallels in 2020 for House of Cards is what is going on in the political system is much more overt than it was back then when they did an overt show exaggerating it.
Yeah.
That's what I found interesting. It's like they're almost polite in how they screw people over.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I think it does illuminate some of the processes that people go through to try to get what they want, and that everything is a compromise and everything is a sort of a backroom deal in some ways, and that everyone's self-interested. So it's a little disconcerting, to be honest. You'd like to think that politics could look a little higher than that. That our motivations don't need to be so selfishly driven.
Do you think it's okay watching a show where the lead actor and executive and main person behind the show has been removed and has been cast into the outer darkness for having sex with a young boy?
Yeah, it's a huge debate. You know, do you like Woody Allen?
Yeah.
Does it matter what he did wrong? Do you watch Roman Polanski movies? Do you read, certain
like Roman
authors?
Polanski movies? No.
Well, but if you did, there's been some good Roman Polanski movies. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know if their work if you think of it as an art or you think of it as entertainment. I don't know if it matters when they're acting, when they're doing their job acting and they're presenting something like that. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's lines to be drawn. There's people that I wouldn't watch for entertainment's sake, knowing what they've done, but I don't know.
Roman Polanski fled justice, so he was never actually tried really in person for his crimes, and yet he's quite popular and is quite well known in the film world in Europe. Was Kevin Spacey ever arrested or charged?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he was either. So I have a bit of a problem with that. I have a bit of a problem with casting people into the outer darkness who haven't had the chance to appear in court.
Yeah, I could be wrong because I didn't.
Yeah, we could easily be wrong.
But
We don't follow American
I don't
news
know
much.
that he was. I don't know that he was charged. I think there was an accusation against him.
It seemed pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
But
be
I mean,
honest.
I don't know.
But
What did he? I'd never.
did he
heard
know
of-
Did he know the kid was 14?
Did he defend
Would it matter
himself?
if the kid was 16? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's ruined his life
Well,
for whatever that's worth.
yeah,
If he did something that dramatic to a young person, maybe it ruined that young person's life. So maybe he deserves it. I don't know, but it hasn't stopped me from.
It's interesting watching House of Cards though, because when you get into a show that's that well scripted and that well acted, it's easy to suspend everything and be inside the screen. And every so often I find myself watching and seeing a scene that he's done and thinking, ooh.
I like and I love watching Robin Wright.
Ooh, in retrospect, it kind of dilutes it, I think, for me a bit.
I love watching her. She's fantastic. She's got this sort of subtle nuance of emotion that comes across even when she does almost nothing sometimes. She's just a very good actress. Yeah. So she's nice to watch.
What do you think Kevin Spacey's doing now?
I assume he has enough money to just live quietly in a corner somewhere.
He's probably got a gig writing ballots for Biden.
Maybe.
After hundreds of thousands of ballots you have to write for him, nobody kidding.
Yes, that's right.
Anyway, so that's it from us. That's definitely two things I would highly recommend is The Queen's Gambit and House of Cards. If you're locked down by politics, or if you're locked down by the pandemic, or if you're locked down because you know there's a pandemic and you don't going out that much anymore because there's airborne viruses around, I would recommend those as two things that you could do that are entertaining and thoughtful, especially The Queen's Gambit. There's a lot of thinking in there about how children in certain circumstances get treated, how adults treat themselves, how young people who are clearly adults are still working in a world with wiser older people that will exploit them, and how older adults can sometimes be children in relationships. I think there's a lot of meat in that show, and it's a show I'll definitely rewatch in the near future. But those are two things I recommend. If you guys have anything recommends for us that we'd actually enjoy, please feel free to put them in the comments, and as ever, please feel free to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and send us your firstborn children because we're hungry. Doodles.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, I'll call Kathy.
It wasn't because we hated Kevin Spacey, we just didn't watch it, did we?
No.
I don't know how I'm going to fix this. It shouldn't go on motion like, should it?
There.
I don't know how to stop the motion. Oh, I see. I think that might do it for 30 minutes. That will be a blooper. I don't know why people do that.
Why did they phone?
There she phoned you.
Kathy again. I'll call her back.
Ridiculous.